on defense. You know, being able to be physical, use his length, just make guys work. You had a pretty good run, you know, these last 3 games with Kawhi and PG and you know, Pascal Siakam, the whole lineup basically. We were switching a lot of things tonight. So him and Kelly have been amazing in terms of using, you know, their length and inside out, giving their presence and taking on that responsibility, and it's been awesome.
Steph, when the season started, did you think that you guys could win a game in which you shot 2 of 16?
Well, I never thought I'd go 2 of 16, so I never even thought about that.
How much confidence does it give you that you found a way to win, even though you went 2 for 16?
It means obviously we're moving in the right direction. And my offense is, you know, I expect it to be there every night. And, you know, obviously with how teams are defending, you know, night to night, being able to figure that out. But in terms of us just having confidence across the board, no matter who's out there on the floor, I like where we're at right now in terms of, you know, guys stepping up, us staying within ourselves, finding, you know, different ways to execute on that end of the floor. But we don't win a game like this. Forget my shooting. We don't forget a game like this, or we don't win a game like this, you know, without our defense taking strides in the right direction. We all understood that tonight, and definitely, you know, that won us the game with how ugly that second half was on the offensive end.
Steph, was that the most aggressive team? Thanks. Was that the most aggressive team has been against you defensively, and do you anticipate seeing more of that?
No, but they have a personnel that they can switch a lot, and they have a lot of length and speed that even different than the Clippers, just finding ways to try to clog driving lanes and get guys outside the three-point line. I missed some easy ones throughout the game, but they did a great job, you know, setting bodies. And like I said, it's a step in the right direction when, you know, I can get that much attention and, you know, other guys can knock down shots and be aggressive and find their lanes and their opportunities. And, you know, we don't really miss a beat. So, so it's a really good sign for us.
Well, hi, Steph. Carlos Ramirez, NBC Bay Area, Telemundo. What does Fred VanVleet do on defense that the untrained eye wouldn't see on a TV screen? What does he do that's so tough on defense?
I mean, he's just solid, but they have a scheme that he knows he can be aggressive because there's going to be somebody behind him and, you know, another guy, you know, pulling in. And like I said, they have pretty good speed and length across the board. So he knows he can be aggressive on the ball, you know, try to stay body tight. Different scenarios that would work to my advantage. But if you have, you know, a bunch of guys locked in, then, you know, it makes a difference. But again, I think besides a couple missed shots and, you know, whatnot, we got the ball moving pretty well, especially in the first half. And it made them pay for, you know, their aggressiveness. And then the second half, it kind of slowed down a little bit. They got started pressuring and doing a lot of things that kind of made us rush a little bit, but we kind of withstood it. And obviously, you got to take a win, you know, no matter how you can get it.
Not the dominant franchise anymore. A dynasty doesn't mean that the same players can once again win a championship eventually. I think Steph's got another chip in him. I think the owners of the Warriors and the front office of the Warriors are enterprising enough that whether or not Klay comes back as his real self, they have enough chips to play with that they can put together a championship team before Steph is done. But that doesn't make it a dynasty. Molly, you know I always use my New York Yankees won 4 World Series in 5 years and then won again in 2009. Jeter won another one in 2009. You wouldn't say all those years were part of the same dynasty. You just wouldn't. You can pop your head up, win a chip. It doesn't make what makes you a dynasty is you win year after year. You're in the mix for the chip year after year, and you win some along the way with the same nucleus of play. Players. Those days are over for the Warriors. I do think they have another left in them, but it's not going to be connected to what we just saw.
That was an absolutely asinine opinion as far as I'm concerned, because you can't compare the situation with Derek Jeter and those brothers where they won the World Series in 2000 and then they didn't win again in 2009 to the Golden State Warriors, who won the championship back-to-back, only lost because Kevin Durant got hurt and then Clay went down in Game 6. And then last year, Steph and Clay pretty much didn't play. So if the Warriors come back and they're making the playoffs this season and then Clay returns next year and they win the chip, that means they would have won it with Steph. That means they would have won it with Clay. That means they would have won it with Draymond, which is tagged along the same dynastic on the
so
same
you're picking them to win it next
level.
Year.
Because again, excuse me, say what?
So you're picking them to win it next year.
Well, when they get back, we'll see how healthy Clay is.
Next year.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
That's not what I'm saying. That's a ridiculous question.
You're saying potentially
the point
they
is,
can.
if
It
Clay
depends,
comes in, I'm talking about the same bodies, the same people. The same people. So if Steph and Clay won back-to-back titles, went to 3 straight NBA finals, okay, or 5 straight, and then last year, COVID-19 plus the injuries get in the way, and this year, next season, Clay is obviously out for this coming season rather than this, and then they come back next year and they win the chip. It's pretty much the same bodies without sans a player or two. But Dre, Steph, and Clay would still be there. That's a part of that dynasty. That's not 9 years removed like the Yankees.
Yeah, I have to agree with Stephen A. I strongly believe that the Warriors dynasty is not over. Long as you have Steph and Clay comes back healthy, 2 guys that don't rely on athleticism, 2 guys that can shoot the ball, from your words, Stephen A. Smith, from the parking lot. One thing I've learned is to never doubt that light-skinned, green-eyed brother down there in the Bay that be shooting the hell out of the damn basketball. And to your point about Draymond Green had a terrible year last year, but Draymond Green is the ultimate role player. And when when Clay gets back, along with Steph Curry, and then you add an Andrew Wiggins, along with a Kelly Oubre, along with a James Wiseman. All these guys coming together. Draymond is going to flourish well because he's now going to be able to go back to that facilitator, that passer, that defensive anchor, the defensive player of the year that we've seen the past couple of years, that how he's able to dominate as an undersized forward man and an undersized center. And then when you look at it, their culture is still there. It hasn't went anywhere. So you look at with Draymond, Clay, and Steph, these guys have at least 4 or 5 more years of good basketball left in them. So the dynasty is not over.
Highly unlikely.
KP, let me say this to Max. Let me say this to Max before we go. Max, I want to be very, very clear about where I stand. A healthy Steph, with a healthy Klay Thompson, are going to the conference finals at a minimum. I want to be very clear about that.
Well, okay, so those two healthy, which is up in the air, right? Those two healthy are going to a conference finals in a conference with the Lakers, who are also going to be there. Also, the Phoenix Suns, who KP has brought up and are on the way up. The Mavericks, the Clippers, the Nuggets. All of them out the window with a healthy Steph Curry. Does that make you part of a dynasty? So getting to the Western Conference Finals makes you a dynasty? Wrong. No, it doesn't.
No.
I don't think they're going to win it next year.
I was just answering your question.
I don't think they're going to win it the year after.
I was just answering your question.
And by the way,
I was just answering your question.
Before KD got there, the only reason they ever beat